Bismillah wa salatu wa salam nabiyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Amma ba'da, habati fillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hayyakum Allah. A question was asked: can I learn books without a sheikh like Aqidat al-Wasatiyah, Sheikh bin Uthaymeen's explanation? Second, I heard about a book. I think it was something like Important Lessons or something, I think by bin Baz, Imam bin Baz. Is it good for beginners? Also, have you covered it on your channel? So the first question, habati fillah, that was mentioned is about learning on your own, learning from books without a scholar. So first and foremost, obviously, we have a haja, we have a need to read. You have to read. With or without a scholar, you need to read and study as best as you can. And true study and true scholarship will mean and dictate that you then study with a scholar or a student of knowledge, someone who can help bring your knowledge up and your understanding. So you, of course, will read those books and gain benefit and gain understanding, but that does not mean you're qualified to teach those texts, nor does it mean that you're qualified to give fatwa, to give religious verdicts or tell people how to do things just because even you read an explained text by one of the scholars. Things need to be contextualized. The knowledge needs to be contextualized, and the knowledge needs to be mushtarat bil ilm wa fiqh, that you need knowledge and fiqh and insight. So just reading books alone does not suffice us to becoming a scholar or a teacher of Islam, unless, of course, someone has no other options. So my advice is to read and study. But as the Salaf used to say, some of the classical scholars used to say that من أخذ علمه من كتبه فهو ضال، أو من أخذ كتبه مثل الشيخ فهو ضال. So the person who takes their books as like a scholar, or takes their books, who takes knowledge only from books, is misguided. Why? Because if you don't take knowledge, as the scholars mentioned, أخذ علم على أهله, take knowledge from its people. If you don't take knowledge from its people, then it's much more likely that you will make mistakes and have misunderstandings, even with what has been translated for you or what you read. Even if you're an Arabic speaker, a native speaker, you're still liable to many errors when it comes to the types of Islamic texts and the mustalahat, the terminologies and so forth that are used, and to contextualize. So it's very important to take knowledge from its people. The second question that was mentioned, I heard a book, The Important Lessons or something, by Imam bin Baz. That's an excellent book, an absolutely excellent text to study for beginners and for people who are not just beginners. It is an excellent text, and it has been explained by many scholars and students of knowledge, and you can find it, I'm sure, on the YouTube. Actually, I know our brothers at the Imam Muslim Family Center have explained this text, and I believe they've completed it, or they've completed a significant portion of it, and they have many videos on this, which are excellent, an excellent source for the Muslim to benefit from. And the last question: can you tell me where I can learn a full Aqidat al-Wasatiyah explanation? Do you have it in your playlist? And also, I see my brother Abu Mus'ab, One Way to Paradise, teaching it. Can I learn it from him? He is doing bin Uthaymeen's explanation. So in regards to that, those two questions, first and foremost, yes, I have explained it, and it is complete. As long as YouTube hasn't flagged any portions of the lecture, it is a lot of lectures. I did it. It was one of the first ever big books that I explained on YouTube, and the whole series is there of Aqidat al-Wasatiyah, benefiting from Imam Fawzan's explanation and other scholars. And it is a maybe something like 50 durus. I don't know, 50 lectures. It's very big. So it will take you quite some time if you do go through it. Secondly, the issue you mentioned, your brother Abu Musab, One Way to Paradise. So from what I know, and what I recall from Jeddah, Abu Musab, that he called to Tawheed, he called to the Book of Allah and the Son of the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he was calling to some good, and I know he has a lot of popularity, and inshallah ta'ala is bringing forth beneficial knowledge. I don't know as far as his background, as far as studies. I don't know him to have studied, the scholars that he studied with, except for in Jeddah, perhaps Sheikh, one of the mashayikh there, the younger mashayikh. But inshallah ta'ala, I'm sure you can gain immense benefits from that series as well. And there are many on probably in MP3 form that many of the students of knowledge and mashayikh have explained Aqidat al-Wasatiyah in full. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, to accept our good and forgive our evil. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad.